Hello all, welcome to Dan's Garage. Today what I'm going to talk about is the R&G Aero frame sliders. Okay, I just bought these new for this bike, and the CP0257BL, which was the correct one for this bike, recommended by R&G. After installing these per the instructions, I noticed that on the slider bracket was tight against the frame, and they give a couple of spacers in here, one 13mm on either side, and the same with the other side of the bike. Anyways, they were loose. So with this was tight against the frame, spacers are loose. Anyways, that didn't look right to me. So what I did was I added the additional 7mm spacers included with the kit, which are meant for the RS V4. And anyways, now I get the correct amount of clearance, or get clearance. I don't know whether it's correct amount or not, but there is actually clearance between the frame, the aluminum frame, and the bracket. So I did a little bit of math. Now, I did this just for example, I did it on the right side. So I measured the factory bolt with washers, so the actual space on the bolt that will protrude in towards the through the frame and into the engine is 63.18mm. So I'm assuming that R&G wants their bolt after everything is mounted to be about the same. So their bolt is 89.53mm total length. This is on the right side with the longer bolt. They include a 13mm spacer to go just with that bolt. Now I put on the 13 and the 7 to gain the clearance with the frame. Now I measured the inside of the bracket thickness, base the bolt will seat there and it'll go through. So that is 9.7mm, okay, acting again like another spacer. So we got the 9.7, the 7, and the 13, and we subtracted that from the 89.53, the total bolt length. That gives us 59.83mm versus the factory one, which is a little bit longer at 63.18. So you're talking about another 3.5mm, okay, which is fine. Doesn't seem like a lot. Now, if I only installed the 13 and took out that 7mm spacer, that would leave us at 66.83 bolt length versus 63.18. So the bolt is actually longer going into the engine, which to me that makes me a little bit nervous. And then to compound that, you also have the bracket, which was dead tight against this frame, which to me, with rubbing and that type of thing, could mar the frame. And so that to me just didn't look quite right. And then you had the spacer was loose. So anyways, I have sent an email off to R&G. They responded saying they received the email. They're going to pass it off to their technical people. And so waiting to hear back from them on that. Now mounted on the other side, okay, I've got a little bit of space as well, okay, which looks comfortable. And I put in both spacers on this side. The R&Gs, they look great, and they're very simple to install. Pop both bolts, pop both bolts here, make sure that you support, you've got a couple of spacers in there between the engine and the frame, make sure those are included. Put the replacement bolts in, torque them down, 40 Newton meters, which I think is about a little under 30 foot-pounds. And then same with the plug that we end up putting on top of there as well. There's a bolt included with that, and then pop the cover on. Okay, so I didn't bother covering all that. But just something that, maybe, I don't know if anybody else has run into this and they want to give me a response on it. But, right now, I'm not going anywhere. That's snow out there. So anyways, welcome to Canada. But if anybody else has run into this problem, they've got a solution or what they did, happy to hear it. And I will be posting once I do get a response from R&G. And in the meantime, I've got the Bonneville to fix up too, so lots to do. Take care.